Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody! And welcome to another episode. So, today I'm going to tell you what Christmas is. Well, it's Christmas, right? No! Obviously, there's going to be elements of Christmas, but it's not Christmas like you know it. I've recorded this 4 times already because I keep forgetting to switch scenes on my video recorder. But nevertheless, I have perseverance. I will get this message to you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Very interesting times are coming, said the bear, on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, 2021. Again, in 2022, the same day, he says, he is wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. To say that 2022 was very interesting would be an understatement. 2023 will bring light to the truth. And it is the truth that we all want to know, right? So let's take a quick look. Let's push on over to Photoshop. Let's go up to the very first scene by the bear, the Christmas scene. Now, this has since been deleted, I believe. I can't find it anywhere other than images on the internet. So here we see the bear. He is almost saying silence, or is pushing to one of his teeth, pointing to one of his teeth. Now, I think he is the architect. Right? This bear is the architect. He wears many different hats, many different guises, but he is the architect of this game show. Here we have the whiteboard, which I think he is showing us his plans. He has the castle, the knight, sorry, not the knight, the king and the bear, the jester bear. And he is showing us his plans for world domination. And that's just a bit of a joke, but essentially, I think what the event that I think is coming is going to be incredibly impactful. So I believe this is the whiteboard. Now, whether it means the takedown of Swift, the restructuring of Swift, the takedown of the old financial institutions, the Nostro, the liquidity, the comics, the cobalt, all the elements that have been discussed in absolute detail by many, many people already. I believe this whiteboard denotes the Grand Master Plan. I'm not going to bore you with that element of it, but what we see behind it is the bookshelf and the Christmas tree, and lots of presents. If I scroll down further, we've got the other Christmas tree scene, which this is where he's toasting, he's celebrating. It's still an element, but this scene, the Christmas tree is behind him. So we know there is life after the Christmas tree, and there are celebrations to be had. Now, this Windows scene, this doesn't start until 2024, in my opinion. But notice the fact that there are windows in the scene. Okay. Let's now move across one more down to this final scene that was released by the bear, and it has the bell which says Merry Christmas, and in the background we have a historical image of a riddle. It's framed for good memory. Okay, now let me switch back to Chrome. This is what I fail to do every single time. While I carried on nattering. So here we go. What is Christmas? So let's go back and let's have a look at what Mr. Poole showed us in 2019 on 23rd of October. He gave us a Christmas tree, a bare Christmas tree, and the plan was not there. The board was missing. And just revealed a Christmas tree exposed. Now, the message above it is believe, as decoded by Fojek, but also the numbers, if you add them all up together, they equal 1827. Add that to the, in days, to the original post, and it gives you a 5-year delta to 2024. But is that when Christmas occurs? No, I don't believe it is. I think that the messages are multifaceted. But also we can look at October as being a 10 and 23 being this year. And also it can mean an 11. So there's a lot of simple things you can decode from just Oct and 23. But moving on, here is little scene, video scene that the bear and Paul used to show us that they were authentic, or this is basically part of the planning, and showed us the scene. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just zoom in on this element here. There it is. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these little things, which when they zoom in, they are, my friends, little worms. Itty bitty little worms. That's interesting, right? Okay, so let's explore that a little bit more. Okay, if we also look at this image by Paul, we have a heart, and we have a Christmas tree, and obviously the golden car at Christmas. So, what is Christmas? You're dying to know. Christmas is the Christmas tree exec disruptive computer worm. It was the first widely disruptive computer worm which paralyzed several international computer networks in 1987. The virus ran on the IBM operating system. It was written using the Rex scripting language, and it drew basically a crude Christmas tree as text graphics, and then sent itself to each entry in the target's email contacts file. Basically, it looks like this, which, as you can see, is the Christmas tree with saying, "A very happy Christmas and my best wishes for the new year." Well, isn't that familiar? Yes, it is. It's the same message that the bear has been saying, just ever so slightly differently worded, but it's essentially the same message. So, we have a computer worm, i.e. a Trojan horse. I'll let you look further into that particular one if you wish, but essentially I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. Computer worm is a standalone malware computer program that replicates itself in order to spread to other computers. So there we have a virus, a cyber virus. And if we think back to Mr. Schwab's warning to us all, was that, and I'll find it actually afterwards, it was that we would face a pandemic far more serious than the C-bomb was. So let's also look at the I love you virus. So we've already seen the I love you heart by Paul, and we know the I love you hearts are also all over the calendars as well. The I love you, the love bug, was a computer worm that infected over 10 million Windows personal computers. So there we've had IBM and now Windows. It was after May 2000, and it spread via email. Very simple. If we go back on here, we'll find the Happy 99 eye worm, which is another Windows virus, and it was all about Happy New Year 1999. And I dare say that played into the Millennium Bug, which is why it was called a bug. So we have three elements that can all be attributed to the bear's message here. We have the Christmas tree, we have the Christmas element with the love hearts, and we have the happy and the 9, all represented in these different bugs. So what does that mean? So what I think that means is the bear is telling us, if we go back to the Christmas scene, and if I scroll back up, if we just go this way, here, notice the whiteboard is in front of the Christmas tree, and the Christmas tree is behind it. The Christmas tree is the hidden method, and the whiteboard is the task at hand. Pretty deep, right? That's how it's going to happen, in my opinion. And then, of course, if you look at the next Christmas scene, it contains the Windows. The Windows, he is in the operating system. He's the architect in the seat. and he is seeing through the Windows operating system, and out there is where the rest of the events are going to occur. There's many elements of this scene and these scenes, but this is one small fabric of them, and this is pretty much essentially what needs to happen in order for us for the new financial system to come about. In an extra part of this, we've got another security bug called Heartbleed. That was basically outdated versions of the OpenSSL cryptography library, which is widely used, which is a widely used implementation of transport layer security. It was introduced into software in 2012, and it could be exploited regardless of whether the vulnerable instance was running as a TLS server or client. Basically, there's tons of different methods and elements of the heart and viruses and worms that show us that a Trojan horse, which is said to have been used by the Greeks during the Trojan War to enter the city of Troy to win the war. And if you've seen that film, Troy being that's an excellent film, but we know this is how they snuck in and then fought from the city from within. Very clever. That is the Trojan horse, and that would seem to me how the Bear and co intend to bring down the system. Yes, well, the bell. I've done it again, and I've not switched scenes. That is highly annoying. I'm just going to continue because I just can't deal with it. The bell, it says Merry Christmas over the top. Let me switch scenes and come back to Chrome now. Bell's theorem. Okay, so the Bell test is known as the Bell inequality test or the Bell experiment, and is a real-world physics experiment designed to test the theory of quantum mechanics in relation to Albert Einstein's concept of local realism. So the Bell inequality violations are also used in some quantum cryptography protocols, where a spy's presence is detected when Bell's inequalities cease to be violated. So basically, the Bell test and Bell's theorem is about the quantum mechanics, and it's about, from what I can see, and I'm certainly not the expert, it's about the detection of changes to the system. So there's, you could delve very deeply into that. I'm going to try and keep this relatively simple. But there, I think all of those elements do kind of suggest to us that everything about these scenes is showing us that the worm, Bell's inconsistencies, are contributing to the change to our system. Very complex. And on the grand, and very quickly, what do we notice about the bell and the elements hanging from it? Well, if we zoom in, what seems to be the same is Bitcoin, sharing the same colors. XRP is still the same purple. But the US dollar, which was the biggest flag in this ship-to-shore image, has become a little bit more yellow. Something has changed with the US dollar as a result of this Bell's theorem and the events of Christmas. Something changes. Or this is no longer, this little circle is not represented by the US dollar at all. It just alludes to the fact that it probably would be, because because Bitcoin and XRP are present underneath the bell. So something else. Okay, so keeping it very simple today, that's the message I'm going to focus on. And I'm going to leave you with that. I think that's enough to make you go, wow, that's what Christmas is. That's really interesting. And in the next video, to keep it separate, I'm going to dare to tell you when. That kind of precognition probably isn't a good thing. But I think very, very strongly I know when, and I think it will be blazingly obvious to everybody when it occurs as to why it occurred on that day or that weekend. But anyway, you've got the blueprint. Yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Are you prepared? Because I can tell you, I think it's this year. Anyway, all the best. Good luck to you all. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care.